Hey guys, this is Sara Partee. I'm doing my Peeps recording, and mine is gonna be pretty short. Unfortunately, I do not still have many of my family members living, so it was a little bit difficult to get this information without having to, go on Ancestry.com and pay for it and stuff. I really tried to do a whole lot of the just kind of word of mouth and speaking to my family members. So obviously, I'm here. I feel like we're good on all that since we did the introduction. So I'll just go ahead and we'll move on to my parents. I am the daughter of Kenneth and Marilee Mitchell Frug. My father was born in 1961. He went to Georgia State where he played baseball. He is of German descent and has two full siblings and one half sibling. His half sibling is his father's daughter from his first marriage. He has two children, myself and my younger sister, and he works as an insurance broker out of Athens. My mom was born a year later, 1962, and went to Georgia Southern where she studied interior design and home economics, which I don't think is even a thing anymore. But she is a financial advisor for Edward Jones and has been in the financial brokerage business for probably coming up on 25 years at this point. She is English and Cherokee descent, where my father is German descent, so pretty much just a bunch of pretty white people, honestly, with the exception of the Cherokee that's in there. Again, same, she's got two kids, myself and my younger sister, and both my parents are English speaking. My dad knew and did some German when he was younger. My father's line is Jewish, so he also spoke a little bit of Hebrew in order to get through his first 13 to 14 years of life. But since he has not practiced any of that, language is really one of those things. If you don't use it, you lose it. So he can no longer speak other languages, which is why English is the only one there, but he has been able to speak other ones in the past. Going back into his line, he is the son of Melvin Arnold Frug and Sarah Frug, which is where I get my name. My grandfather was born in 31 and passed away in 2001. He has three male siblings, and he was actually a professional baseball player in the minor leagues. He had four children, one from a first marriage and then three from his marriage to my grandmother. He is also English speaking, and he is a resident of Atlanta. His parents were in Atlanta. So we've just kind of gone through in that line all through Atlanta. My father lived in Atlanta. I was born in Atlanta. My grandmother was born in 31 also, and she passed away in 88, about 2 years before I was born, so I never knew her. She was one of three kids, so she had two siblings, and she was a homemaker because my grandfather played professional sports. She stayed home with the children, and she was English and German speaking. She is of German heritage. Her father was full blood German. He only spoke German, so my grandmother learned English in school. My mother's family, her father was Robert Mitchell, and he was born in 26 and died in 88. So my parents had a rough year in 88 between my father losing his mother and my mother losing her father. He passed away from emphysema. So again, before I was born. He worked in government and he had five children with my grandmother. He's also English speaking. Again, born raised in Georgia, so we've kind of stuck in the southeastern part of the United States pretty much most of our ancestry for the past several generations. Then my grandmother on my mom's side is the only grandparent I have still living. That is Mary Bettis Mitchell, and she was born in October of 28. She had two siblings, and she was in education. She was actually went to school for math education, which is what I teach. So that's kind of a cool thing that we get to discuss, and just the difference and how they taught things back when she was teaching and how I teach things now. So that's always kind of a fun thing to talk about with her. She again had five children with my grandfather, and she is also English speaking. She, as you can see from the next one up, her father was a Cherokee Indian. So that's where my Cherokee comes from, and with me, it's very, very minor. There's no um, nothing that you can tell by looking at me that I have any kind of Cherokee anywhere in me. Um, and then her mother, Georgia, was in education. I do not know, unfortunately, really anything about my maternal grandfather's parents. So going up to my parents, or my father's parents, I'm sorry, my grandfather was son of Simon and Martha Frug, and that the names are really all I know about them. Um, for paternal grand, my paternal grandmother, I'm sorry guys, it's too early in the morning for me. Um, Her father was Reginald Brown. He was full German, spoke German, didn't speak English. My understanding is that he is the first generation from that line to be in America. And then her mother was Marlene Brown. And really, the only thing I know about her is that she died the same year I was born, apparently several months before I was born. Um, that is unfortunately all I know. I wish I knew more. I know a good bit, as you can see, from the past couple generations. But then once we start going back, it's very fuzzy. So I wish I knew more. But that is my Peeps presentation. Thanks, guys.